I have a deep and profound love for IFS, Internal Family Systems Therapy Model. And I wanted to share a little bit about burdening and unburdening. And so if you're not familiar with IFS, it is Internal Family Systems. So it's a model of understanding that we all human beings have an internal system, an internal process, and it can be talked about in a lot of different ways, but often you'll hear people call it parts work. So I have a part of me that feels this way, and I have a part of me that feels that way. We've probably all heard language like that in our lives. And so IFS is a model to create relationships between the self and these different parts and reorient back into self-power. And there's so much more about it, but I digress. I definitely suggest you looking into it, especially if you have any adversities in childhood or trauma. It's a beautiful model. In order to be fully successful in even sharing the IFS model, I should probably do like several hours of videos. But that's not what we're going to do here. We're just going to jump into the heart, and it is the unburdening process. It's the fact that some of these parts that we have called exiles are burdened, and they have been doing these jobs maybe for a really long time, or they've been exiled away. The process of unburdening in the IFS model is one of the most I guess like it's one of the more difficult places to be, because it's unfamiliar territory for a lot of people, right? Because like, what did I just say? Exiled. We've exiled these parts of ourselves away from the system. We don't want to be close to them. We put a lot of blockers out. We compartmentalize, as some people will say. So in order to have an unburdening and to bring closeness in relationship to the different parts and within the system, and create more awareness and positivity emotionally and psychologically, there's this unburdening process, and it has these different steps. The first step is witnessing. This is typically the most difficult step for a lot of people, because it trudges up an incredible amount of emotionality. And the reality is some of these exiled parts, this is the first time that the self is giving compassionate attention to them. And so witnessing is something that can take a long time. And when I say a long time, for some people, it's really based on the individual. So that could be maybe a couple of sessions, maybe a couple of months, just focusing on witnessing with that part. The next step is the do-over. It's a chance for you in self-energy to provide a corrective experience by joining the exile in the past and doing for this part whatever it needed at that time. Often parts want you to advocate for them, defend them, or rescue them from unbearable situations. Number 3, retrieval. This happens after you have fully witnessed your part and helped them do over whatever they need. The exile leaves the past and comes into the present. They can live with you or go to a fantasy place of their choosing, as long as they feel safe and comfortable. Unburdening, step 4. Unburdening is both what we call this whole process and this individual step. This is a chance for your exile to release any painful feelings, body sensations, and negative beliefs from their body. This can involve releasing its burdens into the air, water, fire, earth, light, or anything else. So for my energy lovelies, right, this would be a beautiful model to encompass with Reiki or IET energy work, and it is to just really release and get this off of you, off of your body, off of your mind, your spirit. And this can take, again, a few sessions of doing that meditative work, that intentional I release this from me. There's so many different ways to release this that is, again, more individualized than the one type of way. Step 5, the invitation. The invitation is a chance for the part to invite in any qualities in place of the burdens that were released. These are qualities they may need or want for themselves going forward. The last step is check-ins, protector check-ins. So those managers, those firefighters that really get rid of this burdened part, they're also burdened with their job of managing and firefighting. So the final step in the unburdening process, in which you invite protectors to notice the healing that just occurred. In light of this healing, are they still needed in the same way? Would they like to simply rest? Or would they like to try a new role within your system? I love it. So good.